Never okay. That's the campaign we are doing against sexual abuse, sexual harassment, domestic violence. And I'm so excited to be chatting with you guys today. I think one thing I'm going to take home with me, or two things: reforming your mind, adapting, and education. Both three of this, and that's where NK comes in. How many conversations are you having around this? How are you letting people know about it? Do you guys think that like it happens so much at parties, or where do you guys think this happens the most?
Harassment can be anywhere.
Anywhere, absolutely.
Anywhere.
Like, where does it happen the
So
most?
we can range from social events to religious gathering to just walking.
But
in the
I feel
street.
like religious gathering, people still bring it, turn it down there.
It's still
They
harassment.
turn it to
It depends on how
spirituality.
you now rate harassment. Even in religious gathering, it happens.
Yeah, it does.
You hear someone saying, "Oh,
Make it spiritual.
trying to touch you inappropriately," and then
And still
you know,
and still make it spiritual, like
Yeah,
I
it's
said. Okay, I like that one.
Because I've had my experience with
I was
that.
also going to add to that, like, now we have social media, it's just even worse. I feel for me, it's just even like we get harassed on there, but because maybe it's not physical, we don't take that seriously as well. But we're still getting. Why are you creating fake Instagrams to try getting follow me and get in contact with?
Just attention, they like you, they look at you, whatever. I don't mind that. But when they are like try to act, so try messaging all the time, try to like every single story you have and talk to you, comment on everything, every little thing, it becomes a little bit more like I don't know what to do with them, and that is annoying because you don't want to, like, it's nothing. They didn't express anything, and you still, you cannot say, oh, can you stop that? But they still doing it. They still keep doing it.
I think what I've learned today is that harassment is relative. That's what I'm taking on from this conversation. I mean, for someone else, it can be touch the entire body. For another person, it can just be touch my shoulder.
I don't know if you know that, but up to a certain point in history, I think 1970 or something, tapping a woman was actually a compliment that was actually accepted.
Yes. As my parents told me that back in their time, if you want to tell a lady that you like her, you just need to tap her.
The guy also, so you as a woman thinking because the guy is, you think you, and I think looking at the flip side, a lot of women also feel because it's a guy, or guys are not taught to say no. So why not? So that's the problem a lot of guys also face, which is fair. But because the way men are wired, in my society where I come from, they are wired to just, go with the flow. They don't know how to. They'll tell you why you're acting like a woman.
Yeah.
Like, so are you saying a woman is what is a woman then? If you're asking a guy why you're acting like a woman,
So it's derogatory, definitely.
highly, honestly, I think there's so much that needs to be done. People need to be aware. They need to know what is going on, and I feel like we can't talk about it enough. That's what I just.
Yes. I also want us to talk about the threshold. Like, when does it get super annoying? Like, when can't you take it anymore?
I think when, I don't know how you define attention here,
Persistent.
but when it becomes more than attention. So when they act, so someone
Lots of food, and so it just came from nowhere. It just hit me on my ass, and
That's deep.
I was so shocked. Like, I didn't even know how to react, and it was just a couple of months. It was in the UK here, and in that split second, I went to sit down in a corner. I was shivering.
Whoa.
And I'm like, then the guy was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know." And I'm like, I couldn't even look at him. And I'm like, what has happened? And for me, it dawned on me that singular act, that took me to a point where people who have experienced that abuse, maybe even that was great for me. But people who have experienced abuse in even a greater degree that I've heard about, maybe understand really what they really go through. Like, for like an hour, I couldn't move.
My question is, when that happened, did you react immediately?
I was
Speechless.
I was shocked. Like, I think I had food in my hand, and I just looked back and I just went to sit down. I was just sitting down there for like almost 30 minutes, just alone. Like, I was literally shaking. See a therapy because they're not going to go to therapists willingly.
Yeah.
So if there's a way you can just, because it happens to someone I know right
They
now,
will never go in.
they won't. So there's a way you can just manipulate them into going to see a doctor. They need to see a therapist. So some people need, because it's going beyond. I also have my own problem I'm dealing with. I will not be in the best position. I'm not a doctor. I can't help it that the way I can help it. So the best thing you can do is try to recommend them to see a therapist and try to be there for them as much as you can.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I would love to talk about effect of harassment
On people.
on people. The thing is, people keep going into new relationships broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in a relationship,
You
you're
guys,
harassed.
I feel like we should just give Oshiki a
And-
round of applause in my head.
Yeah, he
and you're
deserves it.
broken. Instead of you healing, you
You're
jump to
going
another
to get broken
relationship.
again.
So rather than being healed people, we see broken people all over. So the
That's deep.
importance of speaking up cannot be overemphasized.
Sure.
Speak up.
So we know that.
The first day I came down from London to Bradford, yes, I had an experience, but to be fair, not as much as I thought, or not as much as people would think.
I feel like in Bradford, a lot of people are cultured, and to me, I think
Me
so.
personally,
I think the only common one is like when you see people coming from the car and calling girls out. I think that's one I see.
Catcall.
me personally in
Other than
Bradford,
that,
nothing.
No,
Yeah.
because I feel like Bradford's a bit cool. A lot of people are.
The thing is that you say that, but no, I've had an experience.
Yes.
That's actually still
So, should I mention the road?
Yeah, you should. Women's officer.
Oh, okay. So
when
all
there
women-
not it's women's officer, but we're not restricting it to just women.
Okay.
Yeah. So in cases of abuse or any of sort,
you can
you can
reach out
reach
to
out
NK.
to me. If it's something I can handle, I will. If it's beyond my
You
control,
would.
I will invite the security officers. So we now have a female police officer. We're having a panel tomorrow.
Not bad.
So they'll be around for
Fab.
questions and all.
That's
So
good. Okay.
Can I
Also,
just add something? You know when you say speak up to the person who's harassing you first.
But obviously, you have to do it
Yeah.
safely.
that's what I
absolutely.
wanted to ask you. That's what I wanted to ask you. Like, what's your advice for people who, I mean, honestly do not know what to do? I mean, innocently, don't know what to do. What would you guys advise?
Because it depends on the
very,
situation.
a very big role.
What do you say?
Personality plays a very big role
Okay.
in how you react to this kind of things. First of all, you can't take out the way you were raised from it. Sometimes, like the way a lot of people like.
okay, so I have it's an experience that I experienced with Shamila.
Okay.
So we're coming back from a party, and this guy they were walking behind us, and then he tapped Shamila, and she goes,
Oh.
"Why?" And he's like, "You're an adult, and you're not up to 18. Why are you saying that?" And I'm like, "Do you know what consent is, though? Like, you don't do that." And he goes, "What are you saying? You will get arrested. Like, do you know where you are?" Like, no, you're an adult. You know, he's an African.
Okay.
So, they, like we said, they have this ideology that they own women. Basically, like, what are you going to say? Why can't I touch you, though? So he goes, "You're an adult. You're over 18. So why can't I?" So people don't really know what consent is. So, like we said, is when it becomes unwanted attention is harassment. No matter what, no matter how.
You didn't know how to react. So maybe then in that situation, they genuinely didn't know how to react. So I feel with that one, it's a bit like...
So my question is, if you have a friend that someone is being abusive towards, physically abusive, what do you do? Are you going to let them realize it themselves?
I will confront the guy.
Tell them.
That's my point, because
And that's what friendship is for.
I have a friend that partner is being physically abusive towards her. That is unacceptable.
I will confront the partner.
Yeah.
I will confront the partner.
Unfortunately, she does not see it like being
That's what I'm
abused.
saying. You can't tell
So
people how
I
to
feel
react.
like
This is
I
how
think
she
the
feels.
best you can do as a friend is to continue telling them this is wrong.
Yeah, keep
it's
telling
wrong.
them. Yeah.
It's wrong all the time. Keep on telling them. So.
And that's as they say, the approach matters. If you go up to them and you're like, "Oh, your whatever boyfriend is abusing you,"
You
It's
always
me
decide
making
to
my
suck it up.
decisions from there. So when I meet the next person,
You
I
don't
know
let
what
it
my
happen.
reaction and how I'm going to react and how I'm going to approach it. But then if you come to me as a friend, I'm going to tell you the way it is.
That's it.
I will say it the way it is, and if you want to go and hit your head somewhere, it's fine. But I'm going to
That's
say it the way
violence.
it's supposed to be. But for me, because I can say, "Oh, this person grabbed me, and I don't like it," and then you can say, "Oh, it's just a grab." This is me.
And I feel
Reaction, expression, they're very different. The way you would
absolutely.
take things will not be the same way I would take them. So if you come to me and you say, "Oh, it's just grabbing of hand," I will tell you, if you grab me, I'm going to say something nasty to you. But if you feel it's fine,
but
then
that's just sucking it
okay.
up and
But that's
only.
the other way around. Like, I had a friend who was in an abusive relationship and she didn't even know. I was verbally abusive and emotionally abused, and me, I was like the bad person, but I was always
talking to her about it.
Yeah, so if I
don't feel comfortable and you just put it in, that's when it starts to build up and you just get very
Well, let's not forget that we are focused on sexual abuse. How about verbal abuse and emotional abuse? People don't even know they're being emotionally abused. Verbally, they don't even know that that's what they're going through. Like, oh, the person just wait, talk, let us wish it, talk, let us wish it.
Definitely.
But that's not how you're supposed to talk to another person.
I think this is going to be an ongoing conversation. I think the first thing for me would be that, so as long as immediately you feel uncomfortable about it, you try to ask someone whether is it just me or is this normal. I mean, okay, you guys in the building.
And it could be relative. If you feel uncomfortable and your friend feels comfortable in it, it's harassment to you and not to the person.
But I have a friend, or my best friend will tell you. I'll tell you the truth. So if you tell her that kind of thing, she checks it in her head and she says, "Oh, that's good. That's bad. That's good." So you need to have that kind of practice by tapping each other. Wow! It was when I heard that, it was very, very strange.
So I think for me, I know there's thresholds. Obviously, I did discuss that. If you say, "Oh, hello, you're a beautiful woman," whatever, I'll take that as a nice compliment. I'll say thank you. I'll not be rude. But when
one way or the other, but they don't know what to do. And in fact, like I think it was Shamila that said it, they don't even know that that's harassment. They don't take it like what can you do? Like, what's your first response? What would you guys advise to do?
What I would advise is they should speak out. That's it.
Okay, so
talk to someone about it. Talk to someone about it. Talk to your friend. Talk to someone elderly. Don't just keep it to yourself, because a lot of these days
they don't know that. They don't know they don't know.
That's what I wanted to say, Oshake.
If you're confused about a situation, it's always the best to ask like friends, is this normal, this happens? That's my first response. If it happens to me, I will be like,
am I just overreacting?
Really am I overreacting, or is this normal?
I think I'd like to add also that one talking about campaign against sexual harassment, it can be abuse, it can be violence, and I've got amazing guys with me. Yay! You guys are doing good so far. I've got Shamila, Sabrina. Your name is so unique. Trust me. I have Oluchi, I have Dami, and I have Abdurrahman. And NK's in the building, facilitating everything. Still talking from back. All right, guys. Now I want to hear from you.
I think it's normal. Yeah. So, for example, when you're like a lady and you're walking around, a guy is like, let me get your number.
I feel like it's happening a lot of times.
Yeah, it happens a lot, but no woman will come back and discuss I was actually harassed. They'll think, oh, this guy was just like basically trying to get my number. But that actually is a harassment. If I said to you, I don't want to give you my number, and you keep going, that's actually harassment.
So I'll just give you an instance. We were at a party, myself and NK, and the guy was going on and on about dancing with a particular girl. And she kept on doing no. And the girl was like, "What's wrong with you? Yeah, you're not a girl. What? Come on, I've been dancing with other girls." And the girl was going, and then NK walked up and was like, "She's saying no, leave her alone." Yeah, exactly. Some people don't understand. Then consent, then harassment. So that's what it is.
I think Oluchi just dived into my next question, because I was going to ask, like, where does this happen a lot? Because I feel like some people will say that as a lady, you took yourself to the party, so you think you don't want anyone to dance with you.
So, for me, I grew up with 4 sisters.
Okay.
And
any brother?
No.
So that's kind of
5 girls. And it was hard, because first off, in Africa, you're a female child. It's a little bit of an issue because you're regarded as a lesser gender. And then growing up in a family with 4 other girls, it is even worse because you don't have a brother. So it was a little bit difficult for me, because there's certain times when I feel like this is not right. On the top of my head, you're trying to do certain things, trying to talk me into doing what I don't want to do because you're from the other gender, and I'm saying no, I don't want this. It is not right. So at times when we stay at home and we have like certain conversations, it's like we all have had our own fair share of harassment.
Do you guys think that like it happens so much at parties, or where do you guys think this happens the most?
Harassment can be anywhere.
Anywhere, absolutely.
Anywhere.
Like, where does it happen the most?
So we can range from social events to religious gathering to just walking.
But I feel like religious gathering, people still turn it down there.
It's still
They
harassment.
turn it to
It depends on how
spirituality.
you now rate harassment. Even in religious gathering, it happens.
Yeah, it does.
You hear someone saying, "Oh,
Make it spiritual.
trying to touch you inappropriately," and then
And still make it spiritual, like I said. Okay, I like that one.
Because I've had my experience in that.
I was going to add to that, like, now we have social media, it's just even worse. I feel for me, it's just even like we get harassed on there, but because maybe it's not physical, we don't take that seriously as well. But we're still getting. Why are you creating fake Instagrams to try follow me and get in contact with?
Harassment doesn't have to always have to be at work or at school. It can happen in your family. It can happen even in wherever you worship. Have had my own. I had this uncle who would always just be in my case, and the good thing for me is that I had the parents who were always ready to listen, and I immediately detected it. It was easy to quickly tell them, and we stopped it. And I think they talking about campaign against sexual harassment. It can be abuse, it can be violence, and I've got amazing guys with me. Yay! You guys are doing good so far. I've got Shamila, Sabrina. The name is so unique. Trust me. I have Oluchi, I have Dami, and I have Abdurrahman. And NK's in the building, facilitating everything. Still talking from back. All right, guys. Now I want to hear from you. Not to be okay. It's never okay. In case you're being harassed, feel free to reach out to anyone. Most importantly, reach out to your friends and family first off. It might be good for you and might be bad for them. I mean, they would enlighten you the more. Thank you guys for listening. Until we come your way again, my name is Cynthia.
Shamila.
Sabrina.
Oshokia.
Oluchi.
Abdurrahman, you can call me Abdul.
And NK in the studio. We say bye-bye.
Bye.